Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm going to be showing you some Karthus Jungle domination. He's one of the highest win rate junglers right now, which is great because I am a Karthus connoisseur. I played him a lot in high elo on multiple regions. First thing you need to know about Karthus is he's one of the few junglers that can actually utilize Dark Harvest to its fullest due to his ultimate primarily, and also his Qs. He has a lot of one-part combos with just landing a single Q or just one R, so Electrocute's never really been that good on him. I'm going to ward my opposite side. Looks like we've got this area covered, and then we can back and get our 𝐒𝐿𝐻𝐿. For Karthus right now, for your secondary runes, you can go Gathering Storm Absolute Focus. That's more for the late game. If you're playing more for level 6 in the mid game, Coup de Grace, Presence of Mind is the way to go. Karthus Jungle is super consistent. That's why his win rate's so high. And the thing about him is, if you have an insane win rate, like if you have a 70% up win rate, Karthus isn't amazing because he can only carry so fast and so hard since he's very level 6 reliant, or at the very least the gank he normally needs level 4. Because of that reason, if you are insanely high win rate, he's not the best. Otherwise though, for most players, like 99% of you, he's going to be pretty much one of your best options. You're going to start Q, you're going to Q auto, Q auto. You normally want to just start with your bot lane. We actually finished the blue buff so fast that the ground pattern spawned in yet. You want to just start with your bot to get the best leash possible. So even if it's on red buff, don't worry, you won't run out of mana. I'm going to turn off our E in between camps. If you don't have blue buff, I don't normally recommend just leaving your E on when you're fighting camps because it'll suck you dry. Even with blue buff like you see here, we're getting fairly low. Alright, there we go. We're going to get a second point in our queue. We still have this ward, and we know 𝐒𝐿𝐻𝐿 isn't going to be waiting in this bush for us. If we thought he was, we could queue into it and give ourselves some vision. I'd queue it a little farther away than that. I was just trying to show you guys what I meant. And our sustain gets better per level on Karthus as you get more and more damage, and as you get more Ravenous Hunter stacks. Because right now we have 0 Ravenous Hunter. And we can literally do our red buff, and that ward had been there the whole time. So 𝐒𝐿𝐻𝐿 would have a very narrow window to actually kill us in our jungle, and we're going to kite this up, so even if he does show up, he still can't do anything. You actually want to kill the big golem first. The big golem's nasty to deal with. He does the most damage by a lot. Like I don't know if I mentioned it, but Karthus has the second fastest clear in the game, just behind Dr. Mundo. But Karthus can clear way healthier than a Mundo can, as you can imagine. Your big level 6 powerhouse at level 4, you normally get your W for gank. You can use our 𝐒𝐿𝐻𝐿. Unfortunately, this isn't gankable, so I'll just ping this out. 𝐒𝐿𝐻𝐿 is most likely going to be over here. It's going to, yep. Got him. Oh! Got him. Yeah, he actually flashed. He played that really smart. So whenever you're fighting melee champions, it's important that you try to hit them with your W because it shreds their magic resist and slows them. So really any champion is important. Another thing with melee champions is you need to put your Q in between you and them. So whenever they hit you, they can like stand around here. They have a little bit of range. So if you put your Q in between you and them, especially whenever they're going to auto you and they have to stand still for a second, you can land it. He's surprised. We got his flash. That's actually really good for us. We won that trade because of it. That was actually really good for us. The enemy bot lane's really far shoved up. Once you're level 4, you can start looking for those type of ganks. If you feel like you're not going to get a kill out of it, okay, Thresh is going to ward, so we don't want to go now. I landed. He is acting out did so much damage because I had my E on the whole time. I landed my W for magic resist shred, and I was landing my Qs. So even though he's 𝐒𝐿𝐻𝐿, and yeah, 𝐒𝐿𝐻𝐿 1v1s are strong, Karthus knows what he's doing. Karthus 1v1s are just as good or better. Because if he didn't use his flash, he would have lost that. I mean, I might have been able to pinch off my flash. I thought I was going to die regardless, so I was just kind of accepted my death. Since I don't have blue buff, I don't have my E on right now. We have a big CS lead up on him. He can't farm as fast and as healthy as we can. Golems are going to be down for a second. Yeah, because we did our wraps into red buff, so we'll just go for the scuttle crab. It tricked me. It said it showed yellow, which is 15 seconds or less, and it just baited me there. They are back up. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this. Oh, that actually didn't count that one Q. That was weird. We're gonna go ahead and head top. Karthus, if you can't come up from behind the enemies pre-6, it's not worth ganking. I'm going to throw my wall out behind him. If I can get to him. Got him. Kled even flashed and we still got the kill. If you're going to help your laner shove wave, it's really good for helping you get level 6 by soaking the minion XP. Don't necessarily try to take every minion though. Like I took the back line, but I didn't try to take everything. I have my ults up now. Pre-6 minute, that's really good. I'm looking to press R here. I can't kill R, she has too much HP. If I had a full item or I was super fed, I could. Yeah, Karthus, if you're not really fed, you're looking to hit level 6 before the 7-minute mark. If you are fed, you should be hitting it around the 6-minute mark. Yeah, nothing to use my R on there. There's still like over half HP. That was a really weird Yasuo play. He's pinging out my R, dude. This guy's such a goofball. Do yourself a favor as a jungler and go ahead and mute all. You do need to be, once you're a level 6 especially, you need to be looking around the map to make sure you're not missing ult opportunities. Because the ults is a big part of your scaling, getting those Dark Harvest stacks and everything like that. He's getting kind of low, we gotta wait though. Your ultimate, when you're level 6 before you have full item, after you take into account people's base magic resist, it only does basically like 200 damage if that, so you need to be very disciplined when you're using it. If it's not going to lead to a kill, or if it's not going to give you a kill, you don't want to use it. It's a very long cooldown. You shouldn't take Blue and Grump at the same time unless you have full jungle item, because you will lose a lot of HP. I'm going to go ahead and get my pink ward down. I don't know where 𝐒𝐂𝐈𝐀𝐋 is. I'm going to kite this back. The more you kite your camps away from inside of the pit, the better. Whenever you fight your camps and you're just standing on top of them, it's kind of like putting your head in the sand, and if someone comes up behind you, they're already right on top of you and you have really no way to escape. Looks like our Kai'Sa actually just DC'd. That's a little unlucky. If you don't know where someone is, like I said, you can use Q to check a bush. You can use W to check a bush as well. I'm going to hold on to my W. It's not warded. That's a good sign. Clear it out. Gonna put our E on because we have blue buff. I'm gonna pull it into the bush. Not bad. Oof, what is this? Looking to R there. He's getting pretty low. I'll go gank Kled, get my wall on him. Wall of pain is normally how you lead into a gank. I threw it out a little early there. Good thing Kled doesn't have very good escapes. He actually just walked into my wall of pain to try to get to the Quinn. That was actually a really solid trade for us. That's really good. I still have my R. You're going to max Q first, E second, W last once again. Take W at level 4. It's instead of just like laying your wall behind somebody and trying to force them to walk a certain way, it's normally best to lay it right on them instead. That way it lands no matter what. That way it's just more guaranteed. I'll let her have the cannon. I'm a nice guy. I don't want to ult for that. Unless they Nautilus. Unless I see some more action there. Looks like 𝐒𝐂𝐈𝐀𝐋 just got Dragon. I'm going to activate my E. Get my W down on myself. Put Qs in between me and him. That's why Karthus is so good against melee champs. Put that Q behind him. I knew he was going to step back when he saw me stepping up. They got to respect your range is the thing. Oh, I wasn't trying to do that. I'm about to W on top. I'm about to R is what I think Quinn has it. She doesn't need me. I was about to R, but just weren't going to get any value out of it. We're going to go ahead and reset. After you have full jungle item on Karthus, you normally look to get a Dark Sill and your Sorc Shoes. Sorc Shoes gives you a lot of good flat magic pen. The next item you normally want to get, you don't necessarily have to get the full Morello if they have a lot of healing, like Soraka's, Mundo's, Swain's, that kind of stuff, big heals. Then you could get a full Morello, but normally after Sorc Shoes, you rush down Oblivion Orb for the 15 flat magic penetration. Is very nice for helping your R damage connecting. Alright, she lived. That's good. We do have a big CS advantage over 𝐒𝐂𝐈𝐀𝐋. A tactic we haven't been utilizing much this game is invading on Karthus. It may sound silly, but Karthus invades are super strong. Well, obviously because he's good at 1v1s. He's solid at 1v1s. particularly if you get the drop on somebody or if they're a melee champion. It's very easy to land Qs on them. Also, if I see 𝐒𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 bot, if I'm already over here, I can invade his jungle and take his camp super fast. Kind of like a counter punch invade to steal camps since it's so quick. But we haven't had many opportunities. 𝐒𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 hasn't been ganking that much, and normally whenever he's ganking, we're already in the middle of a gank, so we don't have a proper counter punch option. We've already asserted we're already being the aggressor. If you are new to Karthus, though, I'd recommend you practice his Q in the training tool, kiting the camps out. There's no reason to go into a ranked game and do this. You might as well practice in training tool. If you can't kite camps in training tool, when there's no pressure, you're certainly not going to be able to do it in ranked. Yeah, he's dead. Just stay on top of him with your E. You can auto attack in between your Qs if they're dodging too much. He wasn't really juking, so I was just laying the Qs right on top of his head. 𝐒𝐿𝐿's kind of easy to gank because once he goes into a little form, he's very slow when he's moving away from you. He's only fast in little form if he's moving at you. And obviously, it's easy to land Qs if he does that. Gonna help her shove the wave. We're not necessarily trying to take the minions. We're just trying to help her get the wave going so we can take the turret. If your teammate's freaking out, you make sure you're not last hitting it. And if they're really having a spaz attack, then you need to leave. Because they might like break their computer in a raged attack, or just DC from the game and go play Candy Crush or something. Nope. I'm gonna Q on myself. And that's why it's hard for melees to fight Karthus, which you guys saw right there. Looking all around the map, I'm scanning it. I'm just clicking on the mini-map. You can use the F keys, but I'm just pretty used to clicking on the mini-map. It's pretty much just as fast anyways. Okay, we got our Oblivion Orb. Not too bad. You know, I'll actually unmute people. I'll just leave the 𝐒𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿. I mean, I'll leave the Yasuo muted because he's really obnoxious. He got killed and he was like blaming me for not ulting when it was nowhere close to being a kill. Oh, that was a waste of time. Feels bad. Once you have full jungle item, you're not going to be auto-attacking your camps as much. You'll just be focusing on landing your Qs, since your Q's going to be on such a short cooldown. Also, your autos start to lose more value as the game proceeds. Yeah, dude, they're so toxic. Like, they type too much. The only thing you need to use to communicate with your teammates is pings. You don't need to type. This bot lane is really struggling though. I don't know if I can help them. I'd prefer to just keep power farming. She pinged me for assistance. What does she think I'm doing? I'm standing there in the bush waiting for them to shove up the turret, and then she pings me for assistance. It's like, bro, what do you think I'm trying to do? I think 𝐒𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 is waiting for me. Yeah. Yeah, I landed 2 Qs on him there. I hit him with the first one because he didn't think I knew he was there. I landed the second one because I hit him kind of in midair. Hey, alright, come on. Oh! Alright, never mind. We'll just take the dragon. Karthus single target damage is pretty nuts. You can kite out or do a lot of damage to dragons, particularly if you're fed. Your single target Q damage is very impressive. Still have my R, haven't really had an opportunity to use it yet. Bot lane's been struggling, mid lane's been struggling. If all your lanes are auto losing, it can be very difficult to get value on Karthus since his ultimate's a big part of his kit. We've been fortunate to where our top ganks have been highly successful because 𝐒𝐿𝐿𝐿's over pushing without warding. If that wasn't the case, we'd be in a weird spot where we just wouldn't have much gold, and at the same time, we wouldn't have any ult opportunities, which happens sometimes, and those games are bitter losses. Still nothing to ult. Still full HP laners all the way around. It's sad because we're so fed. We have Oblivion Orb and Sork Shoes and full jungle item. Obviously, huge power spikes from me. Trying to get the 𝐒𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿. Quinn barely pinched him off anyways. 𝐒𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿's blue and Gromp are still up. I could go snag those. I don't particularly think I can gank mid right now. So we'll just come over here. 𝐒𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 is still dead for 16 seconds. Ahri's mid. 𝐒𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿's not really reacting. Kaisa's having a spaz attack, pinging the Nautilus. We're gonna go ahead and mute her. She's really annoying. The only person who hasn't been annoying is our top laner. She's been trying. There's my jungle. Once you have 10 Dark Soul stacks, you can upgrade it into Mejai's. If you feel really safe. If you feel like you're not going to die here, I personally wouldn't upgrade this into Mej until I have an Hourglass, because they have a lot of burst on their team. I'm going to go for my Rabadon next. It's very common to not really get Morello, like I said, unless the enemy team has a bunch of healing champs, things like Soraka. So normally you just leave it on Oblivion Orb for the whole game until its final item. So right now I'm just going to go for my Rabadon. Bot lanes, it's crazy how much they're struggling, dude. I think that's just a big skill gap. If you're wondering if certain lanes are skill gap, just look at the CS. It's usually a pretty good indicator. If Ashe has 150 CS, there's clearly, and she's basically over 50 CS up on my Kai'Sa. So you know there's a big skill gap bot lane. So those are typically the lanes you want to avoid ganking, because you just get zero value out of them. As long as the enemies don't get Dragon Soul, we should be fine. Keeping my eyes out for KingStix. I don't even have R. I don't think I can help this guy. He's solo all-inning or my ult's down. I wish he would do that when my ult was up. That'd make it a lot easier. I don't think I can do anything here. I don't know where KingStix is. Nice job from the Nautilus. Yeah, Nautilus hook champs are really good for Karthus. It makes it really easy to land your Qs. It holds him still. Nautilus has a snare on his auto attacks, and obviously his ult made that really easy. Well played from Nautilus. That was actually worth. That was a 2-for-1, and Ashe is one of the most important players right now. Which has a really big CS advantage. I'm gonna go secure my bot side. I feel like if I go top for the golems, reset, and then bot into top, I feel like Yas is just gonna come through and take everything. Very stereotypical, very typical for laners who solo lose lane to try to take your camps. It's very common. It's funny because if you were to walk up and take their minions from them, and if you're like 0-5 as a jungler, they're AFK. Got him. Yeah, I got scripts enabled, baby. Let's go. We take those. Oh, just kiting it out. Leave your E on when you're in those fights, especially if you have a lot of mana. Getting them sexy Q downs against the melees, it's very predictable where you need to put it because they're melee. You don't have to guess between a long distance of space from like here to there. You know if they're going to hit you, they're going to have to be in melee range. So that's why Karthus is so good against melee champs. You don't have to predict as many options against melees. It's very simplistic about the options are narrowed down about what they're going to do. I think I'm going to end up going for Morello now. I have my Rabadon. I could just go for Void Staff, honestly. Void Staff's a really good option. You're going to have to hit her, Quinn. You're going to have to hit her harder than that. I didn't get my Dark Harvest. She attacked her so late. I started my R, and she kept still trying to run to where if she would have just gotten Ashe to half health before my R went off, Ashe would have died, but we didn't even get to use my Dark Harvest there is what happened. Gonna W over the wall for some vision. Yeah, I can't really do anything. There's 3 of them in there. Kai'Sa's doing her thing. This is going to be a really interesting game. You guys are going to get to see some awesome late game Karthus gameplay. Just going to continue to farm up. And notice how I didn't really type anything to my teammates. Typing at people or yelling at people doesn't help at all. If the people are just being obnoxious, you just mute them. As a lot of people don't even understand that. Even in higher elo, you'll get people who are just having little brat fits and stuff like that. They just love to type and flame their team. Even D1 and up. when they have a 50% win rate. Like they have the ego of Faker with a 50% win rate. So it's there's nothing to be gained from typing. You just ping. You can ping out flashes. You can ping out an objective, but you really just don't win anything by typing. All right, there's Kled. I'll save the turrets. My R's still down. I feel like that's the biggest disconnect between Karthus junglers and laners, is a lot of times laners will try to all-in people without checking to see if your ult's up. You can see it right here. It's not that hard. You can even like ping it out and see how much longer. The big disconnect is laners will try to force all-in fights while your ultimate's on cooldown, to where you're getting 0 value out of your ult, since they'll be dead when your ult's up, and they'll force fights while your ult's down, and then they'll be confused, and then you'll just be annoyed. So the biggest thing I wish laners would change is just waiting until your ult's up, like for example 20 seconds here to fight all in. We should be fine though against their comp. I think I might have to actually get an hourglass. I went ahead and got Magi since my ult's about to be up and I already have 8 stacks. But I do think I might have to get an hourglass because of the 𝐒𝐿𝐴𝐶. He's going to force out a lot. And if I have hourglass, I can survive it. I have R. They need to knock him off his horse. My R can't kill him when he's still on it, his horse. It's not how Kled works. Yeah, not ideal. I'm going to go push mid. He also split pushing bot. There's the Ashar. Got him. Oh, she got me though. We actually, Thresh trolled so hard. He was trying to find another kill. You will start to struggle a little bit against ranged champions on Karthus. Things that can one-shot you can get out instantly, like Evelynn, Zed, Ahri, can be a huge issue. We are going to have to get hourglass. We might just sell the Magi's, honestly. We may not have to get void staff. They don't have that much ammo. My team's full AD. Like the Kai'Sa, Zed, and Quinn are all super AD heavy champions. Yeah, we might just sit on the Morello for the little bit extra HP. We'll get the hourglass though. Normally you will be getting void staff, but they don't have a real tank, and our team isn't AP heavy, where I don't think I'll need it. I know I can get more mesh stacks. All I need is one good R where we have a proper team fight and we'll be fine. Yeah, all the camps are gone. That's unfortunate. We still have a huge CS lead up on the 𝐒𝐿𝐴𝐶. Absolutely enormous. And we also have, not to brag, but 13. We have easily the highest KP on our team in terms of kills and assists. And versus the enemy, we have pretty much the highest as well. We even have more than the Ashe, actually. She has 12 out of 13. That's quite incredible to have high KP when your team's losing as a whole. It means you're doing something right. Ahri doesn't have hourglass. Get my W down. Got him. Well played. Just gotta watch your spacing on Karthus. You actually don't want to just kamikaze and kill yourself on purpose. It's better to stay alive. That way you don't blow Dark Seal or Magi stacks. Also, your Qs do so much damage that just by staying alive and landing one more Q, you're giving your team way more value than just dying and then having the enemies back off of your dead body. Go ahead and take this turret, then we should be able to grab dragon. Ooh, we don't have enough minions. Sorry, let's just go get the dragon. I can solo it. That was a really good fight for us. For those of you wondering why we won that fight, not Ashe and Thresh were out of position, and Nautilus got a really good pick onto them with his abilities. Then Ahri came in a bit late, and she came in like she didn't really flank us. If Ahri's gonna play frontline, she can't go in when their support's already almost dead. Like, their bot lane was almost dead, and then Ahri jumped in. It's like, no, Ahri just needed to sit back, hide behind them, and throw out her abilities. She didn't need to ult in like that. 𝐒𝐿𝐴𝐶 can't solo me either, since I have a bit of HP at this point. Like, he's not that fed, and I have an extra 300 HP to where if he's gonna kill me, he can't do it instantly. Yeah, it's just getting a little slow for him. I didn't use my Q on them or anything. Yeah, they're still full HP. Whenever somebody dies, you need to pay attention and see how much HP they have. There's no ult opportunity there. We've had very few ult opportunities this game. It's alright. Looking on the map. He's full health. He's full health. My teammates aren't fighting them. Just gotta sit back and chill. Trying to decide what item to get. It's really tough because we actually have a bigger front line than theirs, I think. I think I am going to have to go for the Hourglass. It's just too important with the Kha'Zix and the Ahri. If like Ahri ults forward and tries to charm me, if I can Hourglass it, there goes pretty much our whole combo. Or once again, if Kha'Zix goes on me, we can give our team a lot of value. The goal isn't to kamikaze. The goal is to stay alive, land one more Q, and win the game. Landing 1 Q is insane damage. Oof. Yeah. Oof. No, Nautilus. He's really lucky Ash didn't press R on him. He would have died 100%. We couldn't have saved him. Looks like Quinn's going in for a split push. Kled's blah. I don't think she could even fight Kled. Kled doesn't have many items, actually. I'm going to kite back as they're coming forward. Oh. Alright, that's fine. I can stop the Ashe back. Ooh, we got the Ashe as well. Alright. We procced her Phantom Dancer. We put our W on her to shred her MR, and then we hit her with our Q. Obviously slowing them with your W makes it easier to land it. We procced her Phantom Dancer, killed Thresh, but I guess she was just barely below half health after we procced Phantom Dancer. That's that big shield pop. When you get someone below around 30, yeah, around 30% health is when it pops. When you're below 30% health. So we had her low enough to where R just ripped her in half because she has no MR. She has no magic resistant or items, and we have flat magic pen here, and we have double flat magic pen. The only 2 magic penetration items in the game. Flat magic pen items, I should say. Void Staff is percent based. And the flat magic pen does really well when they have no MR items, because we're basically doing true damage because we're scraping all of their base MR. Very nice. Very, very nice. Quinn also got an inhib out of that since we got a few kills in our R. Cancelled any of the enemy's recalls. Couldn't get back to base in time. That was a really good fight for our team. Karthus does scale up really nice. Now, comms, for those of you wondering, when would you not want to pick Karth? If your team's already full AP, don't do it. If your team already has 3 AP champions, don't do it. If the enemy team has double magic resist tanks like Maokai Zac, I wouldn't recommend it because they're going to be unkillable. If they have magic resist tanks that optimize into Spirit Visage first or second item are really difficult for Karthus to deal with. Well, other than that, those are the 2 main conditions. If your team's already full AP or if they have MR tanks. Yeah, that's 480 damage and he has an MR item. It's also fairly tanky. That's a solid amount of damage. So we don't have Void Staff. I have my R. I don't want to die. I don't know what's worded either, so I'm a little hesitant to step up when I don't know where Ahri is. You have to really be careful. They have stuff like Ahri, Zed, Talon. Even with my Hourglass, Ahri can charm me. That's one nice thing about Zed and Talon is when they go in on you, you don't really have time to Hourglass. But if you're charmed, you literally can't Hourglass. Oof, hit her. Dude, look at that Q damage though. That was like 800. I don't know how low people... I don't think Kaisa did any damage, honestly. I'm gonna get my W down, zone them off of the fight. Ooh, trying to throw out max range Qs. Gonna go to my Hourglass, got my Eon while I'm in Hourglass. Oof, goodbye! Is that a double? Oh, it's Penta! Dude, that was my Penta! No, Quinn! Oh, dude, that was gonna be such a badass pentakill. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much how you play some Karthus Jungle. The main thing is you need to get down your early clears. Go into Training Tool and learn how to kite your camps without taking too much damage. The main one is making sure you're kiting out the big golem and killing that one first. If you enjoyed this Karthus Jungle guide, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. My name is KingStix. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.